Hello, I'm Jonathan Ochshorn, and I'm offering an elective course in spring 2011 called Sustainable Architecture, the Science and Politics of Green Building. In this course, which counts as a technology elective for B.Arch students, but is open to all students in the university, we look at sustainability from both a scientific standpoint and from a political economic one as well, based on the categories embedded in the LEED rating system: site, water, energy, materials, and indoor environmental quality, or IEQ. Take IEQ as an example. Start with tuberculosis, a contagious bacterial infection, primarily of the lungs, that was correlated with 19th and early 20th century tenement conditions. Conditions that can be visualized, for example, in this photo by housing reformer Jacob Riis, taken on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. What were the political and economic conditions that permitted the construction of such tenements? Here we see the notorious lung block near the Brooklyn Bridge, so called because of its association with outbreaks of tuberculosis. What changing condition fostered governmental interventions, like the tenement laws of 1900, or the New Deal's Reconstruction Finance Corporation of 1933, through which Knickerbocker Village, where I grew up in the early 1950s, ultimately replaced the tenements on lung block? Are politics and sustainability really intertwined? Well, consider just a couple of puzzles. Why would the U.S. enthusiastically support the 1987 Montreal Protocol, an international treaty designed to reduce substances that deplete the ozone layer, but stand in the way of an international agreement to significantly reduce global warming gases at Copenhagen in 2009? And here's another puzzle. Why would the U.S. Green Building Council, the organization that develops and promotes the LEED rating system for sustainable buildings, invite Iraq war booster Colin Powell to deliver the keynote speech at its 2010 Green Build International Conference and Expo? Here we see General Powell urging the United Nations to sanction military action against Iraq in 2003 by lying about the existence of weapons of mass destruction.
Indeed, the facts and Iraq's behavior show that Saddam Hussein and his regime are concealing their efforts to produce more weapons of mass destruction.
Why is this man now repackaged as a role model for green buildings? To take a broad look at the science and politics of sustainability, I've invited numerous guests to participate in the course and talk about their particular areas of expertise. Professor Juan Arroyo, a Cornell graduate now teaching at Ithaca College, will talk about political theory. Then we'll have a series of classes in which invited experts will discuss issues related to the 5 green building categories. Stephen Schmidt from City and Regional Planning will discuss sprawl. Francis Vanek from Civil and Environmental Engineering will talk about energy and environment. Gregory Poe from Applied Economics and Management will talk about clean water policy. Lee Trihorn, a postdoctoral associate in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences, will talk about clean air and environmental economics. Joseph Lequatre from Design and Environmental Analysis will talk about indoor air quality. Barb Ekstrom will visit from the Tompkins County Recycling and Solid Waste Agency to discuss incentives and mandates for recycling. Matt Kozlowski from Cornell's Environmental Service Group in Facilities Engineering will discuss the mechanics of the LEED rating system. Ed Gottlieb will take us on a tour of the Ithaca area wastewater treatment plant. It may not be as exciting as the sewers of Paris, but it's still always interesting to see firsthand what happens to all the shit produced in Ithaca. Randy Lacey, university engineer, will talk about LEED requirements and ASHRAE standards. And our own Kevin Pratt will tell us about the impacts of quantitative methods of energy modeling on design and the politics of sustainability. Of course, I'll also be giving lectures in the course, going over the specific requirements for LEED certification in all 5 categories mentioned earlier: site, water, energy, materials, and IEQ. I'm looking for students who are interested not just in the science of sustainability, but also in the political and economic forces that actually shape and define green buildings. If that's you, consider enrolling in the course for spring 2011. Spaces are limited, and the course will probably not be offered again, so act now.